Jeff George and Dan Marino, two of the NFL's stronger arms, and today their teams face one another. George has thrown for the most yards in the league, while Marino is number 2. And welcome back to Fox NFL Sunday. In Miami today, the Dolphins host the Atlanta Falcons. Now, both teams are in the wild card picture. However, a loss today seriously jeopardizes either team's chances. For the Dolphins, their lackluster performance of late has overshadowed the tremendous accomplishments of quarterback Dan Marino. With 3 records already set this season, Marino will reach yet another milestone if he passes for more than 300 yards, making it the 52nd time in his career. And a great deal of Dan's success is obviously due to his strong arm and a lightning quick release. Right now, over on Fox Field, another guy who possessed a strong arm, Mr. Bradshaw, will now explain the technique of how Dan gets that pop in his gun.
Thank you so much, JB. Thank you, George. And Howie will understand after I get through with this why I, too, developed a lightning quick release. It's to save my butt. Let me first of all describe to you the basic way you throw a football, so then I can explain Dan Marino's release, and maybe you'll understand it. If you go outside right now and pick up a rock or a baseball and just turn and throw it, you automatically will take your right hand, if you put a football in it, you'll drop your hand down, you'll rotate the wrist, and then you'll come around and you'll release the football. That's just like throwing a rock. That's how you throw the football. Same thing. There are 2 ways to throw it. Quarterbacks to hold the ball here and throw the football like this normally have what is known as a quick release. They are wrist passers, and the action that they snap it off. There are quarterbacks who then hold the ball like this, and then they take it and they wind it up, and like the baseball, throw it like that. That is a slower release because you have to go from here to here, while this guy went from here to here. So it's quicker if you hold the ball like this. Dan Marino has strong wrist, and he sets it and he cocks it, and then he snaps it off. The only other player in the NFL I know has this quicker release is Jeff George, but he holds the ball here. But he snaps from here and does the same thing. Marino's secret, his quick release, is not necessarily that much quicker than a lot of players in the NFL. It's his mind and his speed. He recognizes the coverage so fast that he's set and in position and throws on time, and that's why he avoids the blitzes. It's his head that goes to his arm that really separates Dan Marino from the rest of the quarterbacks in the National Football League. JB, as simple as I could put it, quickly, back to you.
I tried to show John Stallworth those hands there, Terry.
John who?
John Stallworth. Listen to him. All right, folks, in spite of Dan, the Dolphins are struggling, losing 6 out of their last 8 games. Fox's Pam Oliver is live in Miami covering today's game, and Pam, things clearly aren't going well for the team many thought should be one of the AFC's best. Where are the Dolphins failing?
Well, JB, the answer to that question may just depend on how much time you have. Don't be surprised if owner Wayne Huizinga eventually goes up to some of these guys, tap them on the shoulder, and demand a refund. He may also be forced to demand Coach Don Shula's keys to the office unless things get better in a hurry. Because so far, this team is on the verge of implosion under Don Shula's once commanding leadership. Where should I begin?
Well, let's start at the beginning when it was good.
Do you remember that far back?
Vaguely, but yeah, those were good memories.
To play the way we played the last 2 weeks has been an embarrassment, and it's been very frustrating. We haven't played well on either side of the ball, nor special teams the last few weeks. So therefore, we stink as a team. We stink together.
And folks, there, in a nutshell, is what's become of the Miami Dolphins. Frustration on this team burns as strong as the Florida sun. On a scale from 1 to 10, what's the tension level like around here?
11.
Well, there's tension. There's no question about that, because anytime that you lose 3 in a row and play as poorly as we played, especially in these last 3 ball games, and certainly the tension builds.
Tension builds when you give up 114 points in those 3 losses. Tension builds when you spend nearly $22 million of someone else's money for a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and you don't get results.
It's like having a car with no engine. You know, I mean, you got a nice Mercedes with no engine, and it's not going anywhere. You know, you got nice talent, but the talent's not using itself, not applying itself. understand what use is having the talent.
Free agent acquisition Eric Green certainly has talent and a steep price tag that includes a $3.5 million signing bonus. Let's see, at this point, that averages about $137,931 per catch. Now that's a good job if you can get it.
You got 19 first-round picks on your football team. That's a lot of talent. I know we're a better team than we're showing right now, but, you know, until actually we go out and prove it, then, you know, nobody's going to believe it. It's been a total surprise to us, and it seems like the harder we try, the more we mess up.
Defensive coordinator Tom Olivadotti has taken much of the heat for that mess, but ultimately, most media and fans in Miami seem to blame Coach Shula for the team's tailspin.
When you lose games, people point fingers, and with the media, I mean, with Jimmy Johnson sitting on the outside, I think it's been betrayed to make Coach Shula look like he hasn't been in control so that they can kind of kick him out the door. And that's very unfortunate, and it's very unfair.
I certainly know that all of the rumors are out there, but I can't let that interrupt my thinking. I can't let anything that Jimmy does or doesn't do influence what my goals and my decisions are.
You can have anybody short of Jesus Christ coaching this team, and we wouldn't win.
At this point, the Dolphins could use a little divine intervention, especially in December when they won exactly 2 games in 2 years.
Out of 30 teams, there's going to be a handful of teams that go undefeated in this month, and some that don't win a game. And we're going to see what kind of character this team has.
And in about a half an hour, we'll be able to see what kind of survival skills these guys have, because that's what they've been reduced to, just trying to hang on. Defensively, they've got to pick it up. In the last 3 weeks, haven't forced a single turnover. And that poor little secondary, man, they've been picked over like a chicken bone, and they face a big challenge today with Atlanta's run-and-shoot offense. So one final note, JB. You know, I asked a number of these guys if they felt like they need to come out and win these last 4 games in order to at least enhance Coach Shula's chances of hanging on to his job. And the answer they gave me consistently was, hey, you know, we got problems of our own. If we don't do well, we'll be out the door, too. Back to you.
And how true. Hey, Pam, look, we know you're multi-talented, but any truth to the fact that you're singing the national anthem today?
No.
No, okay. All right, just wanted to make sure. Thanks a lot, Pam. All right, look here, Jimmy, we dealt with this issue of you and the Miami coaching possibility last week. You said you're not entertaining going into coaching right now. You nor your representatives have been contacted, nor have you guys contacted anyone. Has anything changed from last week?
Yeah, JB, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a non-story in this situation. You know, and I can't help what people are saying. Now, the players down in Miami, they need to do what they're paid to do. They need to stop bickering, stop pointing fingers, win games, and then we wouldn't be talking about this.
You know, one of the big problems they have down there, Jimmy, is, you know, it's similar to the NBA where players are given big bonuses, guaranteed contracts, and the coaches, the assistant coaches, are a little reluctant to chastise the players who are making mistakes, freelancing, doing their own thing. And I'll tell you, that's the big problem down there right now. Too many new players, too many big contracts, too much in bonuses, $22 million worth. And I'll tell you, offensively, you talk to their people, they feel they can't run the ball because they need to score now. When the ball goes to the opposing offense, it's either 7 or 3 right away. It's a game of catch-up constantly.
I'd like to be a fly on Nick's wall, your attorney. I'd like to know what's going on. Tyrone Brown, a rookie from Toledo, will be starting, a rookie wide receiver for Atlanta today. He's going to be matched up with Terrell Buckley, who's coming in because J.B. Brown, the starting corner for the Dolphins, is out. Buckley likes to get in your face and play man-to-man, and look for the Falcons today to really bomb away to Tyrone Brown. The only problem is they just worry about whether or not he gets stage fright.
Doesn't get easier for Miami as well. They host Kansas City on a Monday night. Buffalo they go to, and play St. Louis away as well. All right, folks, still plenty more to come in today's show. It's an early moose season in Dallas, and Emmett is running wild as well. One is the league's premier runner, and the other is the man who helps him look good doing it.
There are 2 typical moose calls when we're assured that the moose calls are going to come out from the stands, and one being the fullback belly and the other one being the fullback jab, and those are his 2 running plays, and he gets them about twice a game.
Drew Bledsoe of the Patriots, his numbers are drastically off from last season, but his team is making its patented late-season run. They've won 4 of the last 6. Back with more after this.